So I finished reading The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and this was my third reread. I really love this book. It's just, when I first was reading it again for this third reread, well, technically a second reread, because I read it first and then I reread it and then I reread it again. Anyway, I was thinking, like, because Kit is 16, the main character, I might not be able to relate to her anymore. And at the beginning, I did feel a little bit like I couldn't relate to her as much, but I was kind of being hoity-toity. And then towards the end, I was like, yeah, I relate to Kit. I still relate to all these characters. I still love all these characters, and I could really see the themes. And yeah, it's a really amazing book. I highly recommend it for like young girls who are just struggling with themselves and who they need to be and want to be and like what other people are telling them to be. This is just a really amazing book. I give it 5 stars again. It's an amazing read. I mean, I've read it 3 times. If I've read it 3 times, it's a 5-star book. Okay, and then the second book that I read, I don't have with me because it was a library book and I have given it back. And it was This Woven Kingdom. And at first I had started reading the sample for this. And by the sample, I was like, I'm gonna love this book. I'm very glad that I did not buy it because it was a 3-star read for me. And 3 stars can mean one of 2 things. It can mean either A, this was an okay book, it just wasn't for me, or it was a good book, it just wasn't for me, or yeah, and this one, like, it wasn't the best book, it wasn't for me, it didn't really work, and like, it was pretty clean, but there were so many info dumps. Like, we would start a conversation or something would be happening, and then we'd have like 2 to 4 pages of just random information, and I would read it for the first bit, and then I started skimming, and I was like, it just seemed like useless world building information. Like, it could have been used and it could have been cool, but she just didn't work it into the book properly. It was just like info dump when it didn't seem relevant or necessary. The Daughter of the Pirate King's audiobook was available, so I read this one. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about it. I'm gonna save it for like the actual prompts video, but it was like a Pirates of the Caribbean young adult version from a girl's point of view. And so you could argue that Pirates of the Caribbean is kind of also from a girl's point of view, but yeah, it was just a little bit different. And when I read books on audiobook, typically I enjoy them more, I think, especially if the narrator is really good. So I liked the narrator, I liked this story, and I'm trying to buy the next 2 copies in the same version because I want all of them, but I want all of them like this. So I'm attempting to buy the rest of the series, so that's kind of an indicator of how much I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, so I have a 5-star read, a 3-star read, and a 4-star read.